Hey y'all, I'm back with another video. This is my client Kajane. She's probably one of the sweetest and funniest girls I've met in my entire life. I used to go to high school with her, but she wanted a Jade nail set, and I'm starting off with a medium sanding band to prep her nails. And then I only recorded like one hand at a time this video, so I don't consume up all the time. But she asked for coffin. So I'm using these coffin nail tips from Amazon. I do find like thicker nail tips harder to glue on. So before actually gluing them on, I dipped the nail tip into monomer before actually gluing your nails on. Yeah, so it thins out the plastic and makes it easier for the glue to adhere to her natural nail. But yeah, so just keep watching. Alright, so I'm basically starting off with priming her nails before actually putting the acrylic on. Priming the nails is pretty crucial. You don't want her nails popping off a week later, or not even a week, maybe 2-3 days. I don't know. But this kind of helps with any oil or debris on her nail to kind of just evaporate, I guess, absorb. I don't know the word, but you get what I'm saying. Just removing all oils on her nails. Alright, so I'm starting off her ring finger with this chisel dip and dab powder. It's in the color Glow number 3, so it does glow in the dark. So basically I start off with the solid finger first, just to not risk having the other colored powders that I'm going to be using to bleed into the acrylic I'm currently applying now. So for example, since I'm using a darker green, I don't want my monomer mixing in with that green acrylic powder and risk it, mixing into this white. So I'm going to be doing the marble on this finger. So with marble, you want to use a little bit more liquid when it comes down to marbling your colors, only because they're going to be running into each other. This doesn't have to be perfect, but also keep in mind that with the cuticle beads, they don't have to be perfect. You're going to be encapsulating it with clear in the end. But yeah, just, use a little bit more liquid than you tend to use and just kind of go into it. And this is the way that I find is way easier for me and a little bit more time efficient. For this finger, I'm doing a marble ombre. I build up my marble up to her free edge on her natural nail bed. Then I'm using chisel number 71 to ombre at her cuticle area Just like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect. If your nails seem too thin, please don't make it thicker, because you're going to be encapsulating it, and it's going to be a perfect, basically a perfect thickness of your liking after that clear is applied. But yeah, I'm just kind of repeating everything on each nail. The marbling, kind of slowly building it up. Don't rush with marble. You have to be really, like, you know, kind of take your time with this part, because especially when this is the design within itself, you don't want it to seem like chunky, having different colors in different spots. But yeah, it's pretty simple. So I didn't record the other thumb, so I'm putting the footage that I had for the opposite thumb. Do you see that? Those other nails, they look so cute. I wish I did this at matte, but I know not a lot of people are fond of matte. But to each their own. Alright, so this is when I start to encapsulate my colors. Even the white, you want to encapsulate with a clear, only just to keep that same consistency, that same thickness on each of the nails, and you want them to be equally as thick. Like I said in previous videos, that I normally use my drills and stuff to debulk the nails if you feel like they're too thick or too wide, or just anything in general. Like if you feel like, you know, you've applied acrylic too thick, just kind of rely on your shaping rather than your acrylic application. I tend to rely on my acrylic application rather than my I tend to rely on my shaping rather than my acrylic application. Alright, see. But yeah, see, I kind of made this one a little bit thicker, but you know, it's gonna come out nice. So I started filing the sides, kind of just making sure to hold her finger by her apex or cuticle area, holding her nail bed so that she doesn't feel any discomfort, only because her nails are pretty long, so she would feel it around her cuticle area. Then I'm going with my filing with my 4-in-1 bit, filing underneath the sides just to have that seamless edge, and then filing around the cuticle, sealing the cuticle basically on each of the nails. It's kind of hard. I would suggest, you know, if you want to prep your nail, and especially when your clients have like pretty, you know, secure cuticles, I suggest not to cut the cuticles if you're going to be going into sealing the cuticles really well. It's going to be hard to kind of avoid live skin when, you know, you prep your nail pretty well. You know, longevity really depends on the client and also the products that you use, not always the prep. The prep is important, is very important, but honestly, I rarely try to cut any skin, cut any cuticles before actually doing the nail. I would suggest doing that afterwards, only because you can kind of spot out which ones are hangnails, lifting, and also your file basically does most of the work for you. So I'm going in with my medium sanding band again and just quickly kind of sped up this video because this part's kind of boring. But yeah, just debulking the nail and just going left to right to shape her nails. Sorry, excuse me, I just take up. But yeah, I'm just sealing the cuticle again with my sanding band. Sorry. But yeah, just kind of having control. Have it at an angle. Don't have it so flat. The flatter you have it, the flatter your nail will be. Then I'm going with reshaping just to make sure the side walls are pretty seamless and straight. Sorry if this gets out of focus. Yeah, I flip the hands over to make sure they're all even, and then file at an angle. And I'm just gonna buff her nails real quick. Then, yep, buff her nails real quick. I think this is the other hand too. And then here we are. She's back. I'm using the Koopa top coat just to top coat the ones that don't have designs on them. And oh, not even, I actually top coat every single one of them. Yeah, you want that smooth seamless base for your designs. I'm gonna be doing 3D flowers and just gems on the ring finger, and then the rest are just as is to have that like simple yet elegant like jade look. If you guys haven't noticed, I've been wiping the sides after each top coat application per nail. This kind of prevents the top coat from running into a specific direction when a client kind of has her hands at an angle. And you don't want to cure your nails while the top coat is running to a certain angle, so it'll have like some sort of bulk up at the end. But yeah, this is what I do to kind of just prevent that from happening. Alright, so I'm doing the 3D flowers now, and I'm using Speed White from Young Nails. This is pretty easy to work with. I say all whites aren't easy to work with, but Young Nails was probably my go-to. But basically I just use a small 3D art brush. It was no specific size listed, but I would say you could just determine whether or not it's a good brush by looking at like when you're ordering it or like purchasing it in store. The smaller the brush, the better. It would be easier to control. You don't want to use a larger brush for 3D art, only because it's kind of equivalent to using your personal acrylic brush, and you don't want to grab too much liquid when doing 3D flowers. Only because you want to be able to work with it, you know, just be able to like dip in with liquid. It's like molding basically. And I'm using the Macart rhinestone gel to put these jade green rhinestones on to follow kind of like just in the center of each flower, and then smaller ones on the sides. Rhinestone placement is really important as well. So basically I'm just repeating the same steps on the other hand. Kind of just starting at the corner. I'm sorry if this goes out of focus. I was trying so hard to avoid hitting my phone and dropping it, and yeah, no, I was not gonna do that. But yeah, you kind of get the idea. Just repeat the same steps. And you know, with 3D flowers, that I really like is that if you make a mistake, you could always just take it right off and just do it right over again. If you ever notice any acrylic residue left over after taking off that part of the acrylic before it dries, you could use your liquid and just kind of pat a little bit of monomer down onto that residue part to get the rest of that acrylic off. But yeah, using the flat end of the brush to place the bead, then using like the corner ends to mold out the petals to just, you know, make sure everything's even. Doesn't have to be perfect, you know. And then I'm putting in the rest of the green rhinestones onto her nail, and yeah. Alright, here's the nails. They look cute. The top coat is eating, but yeah, the little 3D flowers and gems, I think I did that. But thank you for watching. Bye.